know this, but when I was 7 years old, there were elections too. By this time, I obviously didn't know squat about politics because I was a 7-year-old. But there I was, crying, scared, because I was scared that I was going to get deported. Even though I didn't understand politics, I did understood that some political parties really didn't like me, or at least people who look like me. I don't know who does or doesn't know this, but it turned out I wasn't just a regular 7-year-old black kid. I was a Dutch black kid, a Muslim one, with a parent that wasn't born here. Now, I have a Dutch nationality, and so do my parents, so we were privileged enough not to actually risk getting deported at any given time, no matter what the outcomes of the elections were. But yet still, there I was, as a 7-year-old, scared, bawling my eyes out because racists and fascists were allowed to run this country, and still are. I don't know who does or doesn't know this, but when I was 17 years old, some protesters, including myself, were harassed by a couple hundred racists during a kick-out rugby protest. When I say harassed, I mean people screaming and cursing at us, kicking us, throwing eggs, eventually throwing fireworks at police and doxing us. These were people who think using blackface under the excuse of it being a tradition is okay. And for your information, D66, VVD, PVV, CDA, and Christian Union are just a couple of political parties who seem to agree with them. I don't know who does or doesn't know this, but the people screaming at me during that protest were mostly telling me to go back to where I came from, telling me I don't belong here and that I don't have a say in how we do things in the Netherlands. Now, if you do some quick math, we'll see that these two memories I've mentioned are 10 years apart, except it's not just those two. It's 10 years worth of these kinds of experiences, these kinds of vivid memories that just stick with you for the rest of your life. I don't know who does and doesn't know this, but being black means not getting a break from racism. Being actively anti-racist and protesting in the hopes of making a change results in people telling me I seek out racism, telling me I'm asking for it and invalidating my black experiences because they feel as if though I am so invested in the world of anti-racism that racism is all I can see. That microaggressions I deal with aren't actually microaggressions, I just view them that way because I have to make everything about racism, right? I'm doing it to myself, right? It's my fault, right? I don't know who does or doesn't choose to hear me, but I'll repeat, being black means not getting a break from racism. As a kid, I wasn't protesting racism, I wasn't reading literature on racism, I was simply being black. Even then, you aren't granted a break from the load you carry around when you wear skin like mine. Seeing important Dutch politicians tell me I shouldn't believe in the religion I've chosen to believe in as 7-year-old, when they told me people who look like me were no good to this country and shouldn't get involved in politics. Now, I don't know who does or doesn't share my opinion, but those vivid memories I was talking about, the ones that just seem to stick with you for the rest of your life, I'm trying to make sure that the next 7-year-old will have one last racist memory stuck with them for the rest of their lives. Woo! Just in case it happens to make the load they carry around when they wear skin like mine a little less. And I think you should too.